Who's ready to see some great golf? Sticks and hacks, welcome back. This is the back nine of my recent round at Waterchase Golf Club on the US AM Tour. I'm trying to accumulate as many points as possible in order to qualify for the National Championship in Oregon this August. If you missed the front nine, go back and watch it. This video starts on the tough 10th hole with me at 2 over par. The 10th hole is a tough par 5 with options. Off the tee, it's a narrow shoot with OB left and hazard right. No bailout. It's one of those holes where you just have to buckle up and pipe one. Which I did not. I hit this before I was ready. The group ahead was just clearing the landing area, and in the back of my mind I was worried I'd roll up to them. So subconscious takes over, and a quick snapper luckily bounced off some trees into the middle of the fairway. I got away with it. Write this down as a good break. Here's where the hole gets interesting. The fairway splits and you can take the more direct route to the right or the longer route to the left. The left route is much safer, but from 386 yards, I elect the right route. That wasn't good. Another little uncommitted smother hook puts me in the trees. I might have been a little concerned about the hazard on the right hand side. This hook did not get lucky like the tee shot, and I have no window to the green. Time to take my medicine and punch out to the fairway, try to get up and down. These are the types of shots where you can sometimes try to do too much, end up crushing it through the other side, or pick a tight window and fail to get out of jail. But not this time. Just a little pitching wedge here. When you're in trouble, get out. That might not be the sexy play, and you can boo me if you want, but the goal is to not turn a 6 into a 7. That leaves just 101 yards to a flag in the middle of the green. Nothing crazy here, and even an outside chance of getting up and down for par. But I flipped at that one. Probably my worst wedge swing of the round, and that comes up short and right in a collection area. Wheels are starting to wobble after birdieing the 9th hole. Need a good pitch here. This is only like a 5 out of 10 on the difficulty scale, just a standard pitch. That ball, however, lands on the edge of the collar, kicks forward, but still stays within about 6 feet. Not bad. I need this one. Doubles are scorecard killers, and with the elevated heart rate, I knocked that right in the center for a bogey, where the only good shot was the putt. That takes us back to +3 heading into the short par 4 11th. Using the Par Golf app, this hole has a creek running across the fairway that keeps you from hitting driver, so for me, just a nice little driving iron. Into the wind, this should stay nice and flighted, and even with less than driver, should have no more than an 8 iron in. And that's well struck. It had a little tail on it that had me staring at it, but it's just fine on the right hand side, leaving just 143 yards. This shot's a little into the wind. Par Golf caddy saying that it plays like 150 yards after a 7-yard adjustment. So I've chosen 9 iron, which is a fair amount of club. You gotta trust that the wind will hold it up. I did not trust the wind, and I quit on this early, coming up well short. The caddy was right. Should have played it like 150. Instead, this comes in a little patch of the fairway short of the green. As far as misses go, this was a good miss. Should be a pretty standard up and down with plenty of green to work with. I failed to read the break of the green, but I got the pace right to leave one of those knee knock and 4-footers for par. Cue the heart rate. Whew. That finds the back door, but she's in for par to stay at 3 over. The 12th hole is a short par 3 with the pin tucked to the right. She's only playing around 135 yards, and I want to hit something hard, so it's a pitching wedge for me. I'm aiming well out left of the flag to allow it to either take the slope or just give me an easy 2-putt. Not taking on the right hand side. A well-executed shot leaves me 17 feet. I'm really striking the ball well today. Pretty much hitting the shots I'm looking at with the exception of the 10th hole. Confident swings. This putt is well down the hill and into the green. It's a good look, but that was never on the right line, missing on the low side. Chalk that up as a misread. I take my time even on a 2-footer. It's an easy par. You gotta love those. The 13th hole is a much easier par 5. It is long, so not reachable in 2, but the fairway is wide open, and you have to hit a pretty bad one to get in trouble. The Par Golf app shows it's bombs away with driver. and I almost hit that bad one. Too much draw, it gets near the OB fence and ended up on the cart path. After free relief, I've got a 7-iron to lay up, just taking it straight over those trees into the fairway. And that was a solid strike and a good layup. Just 119 yards from here, but back into the wind, I've got a pitching wedge. The flag is tucked to the left and I'm taking dead aim. This was probably my best shot of the day as I stuffed it into tap-in distance. Still, it's downhill, so I'll carefully brush this in for bird. Hit that like and subscribe button for me. I've got some great content in the hopper and I'd really appreciate the support. The 14th hole isn't a super long par 3 with a pin on the far right. I need to be aiming right of the flag, but I have a feeling I was aimed a little more at it. I never really felt comfortable over this ball with the cart girl just driving by and the noise going on. I never got settled and I pulled this one badly. That's a 180-yard 8-iron and a really long putt. Not ideal. On putts like these, Scott Fawcett likes to say that anything within 10% of the overall distance is a good result. So from 80 feet, I'd take an 8-footer right now. This has to go over a big crest and the last third of the putt is straight down a hill. That's a little tentative and I've left myself over 20 feet. Not how you want to follow up a birdie. Additionally, with the downhill, I had to be a little careful not to blow this one. I get away with just a 3-putt. It's easy to get mad at the flat stick after a 3-putt, but that 3-putt was with the iron. 3 putts is not an awful result from 81 feet. The 15th hole doglegs left with water through the fairway, as you can see in the Par Golf app. With a different wind, that water may be in play, but today it's bombs away, no worries. And that is smoked to position A. I have just 104 yards to the hole and a 52 wedge in hand. The pin is quite accessible, so I'm taking dead aim. Time to chip away at the score on shots like this. This one felt a little funny off the face, and I thought it was short, but it ended up a great distance and inside 6 feet for birdie. I told you, I'm striking it today. 6 feet is no gimme on these greens, and this has a little left to right break on it. I'm aimed just outside the hole, and it's right in the middle. Guys, hit that like and subscribe button. I gotta march towards 1,000 and then take it from there. We're getting close, and I'd be grateful if you help me get there. The 16th is a pretty standard par 3. Back into the wind, but with the center flag, it's just a 9-iron. The wind knocks that down a little, and it comes up on the front portion of the green at 35 feet. This is probably the slowest putt on the golf course, straight uphill and into the grain. It's gonna take a good knock. But that comes up well short. Meat on the bone. Cue the heart rate. Center cut, flat stick is working today. 2 holes left and I'm at +2. I have a chance to post a solid number. The 18th hole is eagleable. Just gotta make it past this 17th tee shot. This is a strange hole looking at the Par Golf app. It actually has a double fairway, but I've never seen a scenario where the left fairway made any sense. So I'm aiming down the right and blasting it. I'm not entirely sure I've ever played this hole downwind, and that was dangerously close to being too long. It ends up perfect with just under 80 yards from the fairway, but there wasn't much room to my left. This pin has a back slope behind it, and I'm okay with hitting this pass and trying to spin it back to the hole, trying to increase the margin for error. But instead I caught too much of this and caught the wrong part of the slope. So instead of coming back towards the pin, the ball actually came back to the left and left me a 30-footer across the slope. Not a great shot from 78 yards, but a 2-putt par would be a good result. Unfortunately, my ball was just on the apron and I gassed it through the fairway cut to leave yet another tester. Probably the first putt I really got past the hole. Sometimes I wish I wouldn't watch my playing partner's putt. Way was on the same line as mine, just about a foot further away. It looks like he hit a good putt just outside the hole, which is the same read I had, and it just didn't come back. He misses high for his birdie. That added a little bit of uncertainty to my putt, which I had at the right edge originally. I wasn't particularly nervous on this putt, so no need for the heartbeat. I've been putting well, and I just saw the break. But I end up hitting mine with a little less pace, and it breaks right across the hole. Bummer. That's a bad bogey to fall back to +3. Ugh. The golf has been too good to be 3 over at this point in the round. The 18th hole is a straightaway reachable par 5. The only trouble off the tee is left, but you can hit it as far right as you want. So I'm aiming out at the edge of the trees on the right, and if it draws, it draws. I ended up pulling this a little, but the aim point allowed for a margin of error. I ended up dead center in the fairway, just inside 200 yards. It's go time. Just a 5-iron in on a par 5 to close the round. I'm salivating over this. You've got a hazard short and around to the right. The green is somewhat narrow with bunkers left, but my ball striking has been great. It's a green light. So, what happened? At the last minute I was worried I was going to snap this left into the bunkers, and I just totally bailed out. I don't know if I ever shanked it in a tourney round, but that was a shank, and I just ruined a scoring hole. I ended up finding the ball at the bottom of the creek, unplayable. So it's a penalty drop where it crossed and scrambling to salvage the round. Just a flip wedge here and I'm clearly distracted now. I'm disappointed with how I'm closing a solid round. That poor wedge leaves me a tricky putt up and over a slope from the front of the green. I'm well behind my group now, so I'm hurrying. Hardly read this. Still grinding, but I know I haven't won the tournament now. 4 feet for bogey, and I really want this one. I'll be kicking myself with a bogey double finish, and it would make the drive home just that much longer. I remind myself I'm putting well, commit to the line, and roll in the bogey putt. Sigh of relief. It's a 4 over 76, which is not great, but I'm proud of the way I grinded it out after being 4 over in a 3-hole stretch on the front 9. A lot of good golf in this round. I ended up tied for 5th in my flight and tied for 6th overall. It's my second best result of the year, which means I need to play better. Some young college kids are dominating the tour right now as -1 won this particular tournament. From a strokes gain perspective, I played to a scratch handicap, but I really hurt myself with approach game on 10 and 18. With par golf, I know what to work on. Thanks for watching. Smash that like and subscribe button. Help me on my journey. Let's improve together.